early today. I have a couple of errands I need to run, and I want to get it done before like rush hour happens. So I'm going to be doing a kale salad, and this one is actually one that I have made years and years ago. It's a technique that I learned, and I absolutely love. And I apologize, my cat always goes in the pantry, and somehow the door always ends up open. But it's one of those kale salads that I made years ago, and I honestly haven't made it in a really long time. And I was flipping through trying to figure out what to make this week, and it kind of popped in my head, so I thought I would share it with you all. But this is the melt in your mouth kale salad. So this is a great way to take kale and make it taste amazing. If you've ever had like kale salads on like salad bars or at restaurants, a lot of times they'll just take the kale and they'll dress it, and it tastes like crap. And I've showed you guys before how to massage kale, which really breaks down that cell wall and makes the kale taste amazing. This is another technique that's a little bit different, but it's gonna do the exact same thing. It's really gonna break down that cell wall, tenderize the bitterness out of the kale, and then we dress it and it's gonna taste so good. And this is a low carb recipe, so it's perfect for a low carb day. Today our Trim Bootcamp ladies are doing low carb day, so I'm sure they'll all love this recipe. And for those of you who are carb cycling with us, which I hope all of you are, this is a great recipe to kind of add into your low carb day regimen. Whether you add like some salmon to it, hey Mindy, you can add some chicken to it, you can add pork, whatever you want, right on top. So this is good foundation to anything, or if you're vegetarian, just eat it as is or throw a veggie burger on top. So we're gonna take the kale and throw it in the food processor, and then I've got some nuts that I've toasted, I've got some Romano, and we're just gonna kind of like assemble it all together. So it's very, very simple. Hey Krista, hey Brittany. Brittany, you would like this one. It's vegetarian, it's super simple, and it's great for low carb day. So first things first, we need kale. I'll show you guys the ingredients we've got on hand here for this recipe if you want to cook it along with us. The second ingredient is some pecans. I've just taken them and toasted them on the stovetop. Really simple, about 5 minutes, and you just want to keep a close eye because they can go from raw to burnt really quickly. But you basically just want them until they're nice and fragrant and a little bit toasted so they firm up. Next, see my kitten's already trying to get in the pantry. What are you doing, Lou? You want to say hi to everybody? Lucy says hi. She wants fed. Okay, so then the next ingredient is some Romano cheese. I'm just using a Pecorino Romano. You could use Parmesan as well, but I love the saltiness and kind of the dry crumbliness of the Romano cheese in this recipe. And then the last ingredient is going to be lemon. We're going to create our dressing out of some lemon and olive oil, really simple. And then from the pantry, we've got honey, old Dijon mustard, olive oil, Celtic salt, and then our red pepper flakes, of course. So to do this kale, and I've already done a little bit of it, you guys can see it's very finely shredded. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take your kale, and I'm gonna move this over a little bit just so y'all get a little better view of the food processor, but you're gonna take your kale, and you're gonna hold it at the bottom of the stem, and you're just gonna take and kind of tightly grip and then pull in the opposite direction. And that's how you remove it very quickly without a lot of effort. And then what I do is I just kind of tear it up and put it into the food processor. And you want to do this in batches. Otherwise, I find that the bottom gets too pureed and the top is too leafy. So I'm going to do like 3 batches. So I did one already. We'll do this one next. And then you're going to take the lid of your food processor and just put it on there. And I've dropped my lid like 1,000 times, so it doesn't always click in there. So you're going to have to bear with me here. I need to order a new one. And then you just want to pulse. And basically you're pulsing to kind of, again, break that cell wall and tenderize the kale. And if you end up with like big chunks in there, you can always just pull them out and put them in the next batch, or you can kind of keep going. And this looks okay, so I'm actually going to let it keep going. I need a new lid. It's like that one spot. There we go. Oh, if it goes too far. And I'm assuming you can just order a new lid for these. I literally have had this thing like 2 years. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to dump this out into the bowl, and we'll do one more batch. And again, if you guys can see, like it's very, very, very fine. That's what you want it to look like. Okay, so we'll take more kale, take it off the stem, hold it at the bottom, pull in the opposite direction. And if you're doing a kale salad where you massage it, same exact way. Anytime I cook kale and use kale, that's how I remove it from the stem. I just feel like it's so simple. And it allows you to get the most off. Okay, so I'm gonna break this up a little bit and kind of push it down in there so it processes a little simpler. And the thing I love about kale salad is that it holds up really well in the fridge. So even after I dress this and put it in, it'll hold up for about 3 days, no problem, without getting mushy, where other lettuces will wilt down and get kind of gross. So let's give it one more pulse if I can get my food processor clicked in here. And what's crazy is I use this thing all the time and I still haven't got it replaced. There we go. Okay, that looks really good. Okay, so I'm gonna get that into the bowl. And then I'll move this out of the way. Move this out of the way. The only downside of this salad is it is a little bit messy. Kale just kind of goes everywhere. Okay, move this aside. All right, and this recipe is from A Healthy Passion. If you guys are not familiar with Healthy Passion, it's our meal planning software. So for those of you who are looking for new ideas on what to cook to help stay on track, A Healthy Passion actually calculates your macros for you and tells you basically what you need to reach your goals. If you want to lose weight, if you're carb cycling, if you're counting macros, if you're, whatever you're trying to do, A Healthy Passion helps you really just make that happen. And it's all real food, macro-friendly recipes. So you get the nutritional breakdown for every recipe. We have an autofill button, so if you don't know what you want to eat, you can click that and it'll recommend recipes for you. We're actually adding a new feature now where if you fill in your meals for the day and you're like, I don't know what to do to hit my macros, the autofill will fill in snacks. So a game changer for saving you time, saving you money, and actually helping you to reach your goals. So ahealthypassion.com, if you guys aren't using it yet, go check it out. It's amazing. So then the next thing we're going to do here is get our pecans and just kind of chop them up, and I just like to roughly chop them, and we'll grate our Romano cheese. And honestly, every A Healthy Passion recipe, there's some that are more complicated than others, but every one is really based on techniques. So you'll see a technique like this one, for example, and then you'll see a bunch of different recipes to take that technique and change it up. That way, once you learn how to do something, it becomes a lot simpler versus trying a new recipe like every day. But when you change up the ingredients and use a technique you're familiar with, it's a lot less intimidating. We also have a lot of family-friendly recipes, air fryer recipes. The planner tool keeps you really organized. We've got a shopping list tool as well. So super, super simple, not only to know what you need to eat, but to also keep you on track. Okay, so now for the vinaigrette. This is kind of a basic vinaigrette you'll see over and over again in A Healthy Passion, but I love to use Dijon mustard and honey, and we're just using about a teaspoon of each. The Dijon mustard is going to help to emulsify the dressing and keep it nice and creamy and together. And the honey is going to act as a little bit of a sweetener because kale is naturally bitter. And while the way we did this to break down the cell wall really does help to sweeten it up a little bit and take away the bitterness, the honey really just kind of cuts that flavor and makes it taste so good. Next thing is lemon, just the juice of a lemon. It's going to go right on in there. And I'm actually going to add my salt in there as well. I'm just using Celtic salt. Celtic salt is like the one ingredient that I really recommend you buy if you are making changes in your kitchen. It's a trace mineral rich salt. It comes from France. And the cool thing about Celtic salt, unlike most other sea salts, is it comes from a live sea, so there's live minerals going over that region at all times, so you're getting a lot more minerals into the salt. It also never touches metal when they're kind of harvesting it. Most salts, they use metal to harvest. This never touches metal, so it really allows for a nice pure salt flavor. 2 tablespoons of olive oil go in there. And also I like the coarse ground salt because it adds these intense pops of salt flavor, which allow you to get more flavor out of your food but use less overall sodium. So in A Healthy Passion, we recommend specific ingredients. You don't have to use them, but we feel like, especially since a lot of our recipes are 4, 5, 6 ingredients, we like to use really good quality ones. So Celtic salt is one of those. Okay, then we're going to take our dressing and just kind of pour it over. And I've added the salt. I did not add the red pepper because I was chit-chatting, so I'm just going to sprinkle that in there as well. And then I'm going to take my little salad tongs and just give my salad a nice toss to kind of coat with that vinaigrette dressing. So again, really, really simple. If you like more dressing, you could always add more. I like to hit it with a little tiny drizzle of olive oil at the very end before serving, but I don't like mine to be overdressed because I typically prep this one up in advance and let it sit before I eat. And I find that the dressing kind of soaks in. Okay, so then the pecans are going to go in. It's about a 1/4 cup of pecan halves that I just toasted 4 or 5 minutes on the stove. Give that a toss. And again, this is super simple, you guys. Like, not a lot of stuff goes into this. It's kind of the base, so you could always add, you know, on a regular macro day, some strawberries would be delicious. Again, you could add some grilled chicken or fish. So really good base, and then the opportunities are really endless. And then we're going to add about a 1/4 cup of Romano cheese. And again, this Romano is going to be nice and salty. It's also a little drier than some of your other cheeses, so I find it just really, again, holds up well sitting in the fridge. Doesn't get kind of slimy like sometimes cheese can get when it sits prepped ready to go. So there's about 2 tablespoons. And once you guys try the salad, you are going to be in love. It's going to become a regular in your meal prep. It is in ours. And then what I like to do is actually prep this up and have it for lunch on low carb days with just like some tuna or something. And then on a regular macro day, we'll add a little quinoa on the side, which you can just, in a healthy passion, you can take the recipe and then add in whatever else you want. So say you use this as your base recipe and then you add in some tuna on low carb days and some quinoa on a regular macro day. It makes it super easy. And unlike MyFitnessPal, the database is so accurate, so you know what you're tracking is correct. Okay, so I'm just gonna toss that cheese in, and again, it's a good amount of cheese, but if you think about it, you wanna add some fat for flavor. All right, and there you guys go. I'm gonna do a little overhead just so you all can see it, but this is so tasty, so simple. And it's so good for you. So there we have it, ladies. If you guys are around this week, I'm doing Facebook Live at 5 tomorrow and Thursday as well. I'm doing an air fryer fish and chips. We've been doing a lot of air fryer recipes this month because we just added air fryer to a healthy passion. So I'm doing an air fryer fish and chips tomorrow. And then I'm doing what am I doing on Thursday? Oh, an air fryer frittata. So this is gonna be another good low carb one. Or regular macro day, to be honest. You could always add a piece of toast. But I'm going to show you how to make a frittata in your air fryer. So super simple, super quick. What I would do is I would prep it ahead, and then I would just pour it into the air fryer and put it in, you know, and let it go and have breakfast or lunch or whatever ready pretty quickly. Yeah, Brittany, you're going to love it. It's a different technique than the massage kale, but it's very similar in the end result. So, and honestly, this one's good for kiddos. Like, I would add some fruit to it and probably some more honey. But it's so finely chopped that it really doesn't taste bitter. So I love this one, especially, like I said, for a good start to a low-carb lunch or dinner. So yeah, hope this was helpful for you guys. Again, if you're not using a Healthy Passion, go check it out. It's a game changer if you're struggling with what to eat, if you're looking for healthy meals to feed your whole family but allow you to still reach your goals. It really is a great tool, and all the recipes are delicious. So I'm going to shoot this one. It'll be in the software next week, so keep an eye out for it. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Bye.